soda jerk. There are many different things that show the differences in people, that show the differences in peoples and cultures across the planet due to many factors, such as climate, population density, and location. These differences have led to some of the most extreme forms of culture in the current era. At a time when one could obtain a carbonated beverage of almost any kind, there are still isolated villages and rainforests who have never seen something as commonplace as a bottle of Pepsi or Mountain Dew.
Ooh.
I wrote Pepsi. There is something, however, that unites all people in a way unable to connect, there is something, however, that unites all people in a way unable to connect people like any other: dance. The unique forms of movement, usually to a rhythm, is an art form that all cultures share, and is one that can be enjoyed by almost all groups of people, regardless of age, race, creed, or culture.
Ooh.
To dance is to express one's inner emotions and thoughts into a physical display of energy and impulse. It is not simply movement inside something like a bottle of carbonated water and sugar syrup. One of the problems with attempting to define dance is that there are other forms of intentional movement that fall into the same patterns in which critics distinguish the differences in a dance. Many sports activities follow the same repetitive patterns. Certain animal behaviors can be misinterpreted as forms of dance. Even the fizz of a soda or the brisk burst of bubbles from a beautiful beer.
Oh.
What makes these types of things different than a dance is, quote, because the principles that govern these activities are not crucial principles of aesthetic, to please, or self-expression, cited from the problems in defining dance.
Ooh.
And people will often make connections to things that seem similar to each other. One would not assume an Olympic wrestling match to be considered a dance, even though the performers are following a set of choreographed movements, though they may come forth in a sporadic manner from match to match. Even something as elegant as figure skating is not considered to be categorically dance, as its primary principle is to display the skill and intent of the athlete rather than the expression of the movement. Movement in and of itself is not considered to be dancing. If that is to be true, then it can also be assumed that simply moving one's arms is akin to the boot, scoot, and boogie or the electric slide.
Oh.
Dance is intentional, no matter if it is a series of random movements or a well-executed tango. The wind rustling in the leaves of a tree does not mean the leaves are dancing, yet many people know of the cliche of something dancing in the wind. To dance is to express oneself in a physical way, the same manner that a painter uses the canvas or a musician manipulates an instrument. One thing that does tie many dancers together, ties many dances together, is the accompaniment of music. Dancers will move their body to the rhythms of a beat, though there is one type of dancing done without music. In the culture of the people that inhabit 3 small villages in Croatia, it is common that the act of dancing be done without music. It is known as Najimo Kolo dancing, cited from Dance Like There Is No Music. Yet the people of the Dalmatian hinterland are still intentionally moving their bodies in a specific manner and not simply moving. People dance for a wide variety of reasons. Some will do to simply enjoy the movement, while others will train for months, even years, to master a specific set of choreography. Depending on the training of the individual, a dance can be sporadic without a recognizable pattern, or exceptionally complex, requiring more than one individual to accomplish the routine. The only limit to one's ability to dance is through their own physical limitations. A woman named Natalie Fung tells of her tragic car accident that left her paralyzed from the neck down, and how she overcame her anxiety and depression through dance, cited Dancing with Quadriplegia. Rolettes make it happen. No matter the reason someone must dance, no matter the reason someone may dance, the importance behind it is the intent. Without an intent, a movement is simply a movement, no matter how it appears to vibrate, fizz, or swirl. This is not to assume that unintentional movements cannot eventually develop into a dance, but that the act of movement in a body, no matter if that be human or carbonated beverage, is not a dance. While there is debate on what styles of dance fall into what many canonically recognize as dance, there are several things that are required to meet the criteria. The intent of the movement and the expression of from the individual are certainly important to establish a clear recognition between dancing and forms of sporadic movement. Most important is the ability of the viewer to recognize the specific movements of a dance compared to the quick fizz of a shaken bottle of soap. Works up.